Aboard the steamship John W. Brown, the one of 2,700 Liberty ships that were built, right?
2,710.
Ah, one of two that are still operational, and one of three that are preserved, three or four, because I know there's one in Alaska and another in Greece.
The one in Alaska is being used as a
Cannery, right?
Cannery, yeah. The one in Greece, I'll show you why they can't take her anywhere in a little bit.
Part source.
And,
Being used as a part source for these, for the O'Brien and the Brown, right?
yeah. Well, you've been doing some studying.
Well, there's a few things I've heard about the ships like this. 12, I believe I'm 20. I'll be fine. Ah, right here then. Yes, I'm going to have to put the camera down, let myself go down, so, yeah, going to have to dangle her. Yeah, I've got a friend I visited in Connecticut who's into maritime history and engineering. This would be a gold mine for him.
We've got one of our engineers has one in his garage.
Oh, wow.
How we got it there? Figured out.
Hey, well, hey, look on the bright side. If y'all ever need to do an engine replacement, he's got you covered.
We know where to go. That side is closest to the boiler, right?
So that'd be high pressure, right?
So this is a high pressure piston here. Normally we run it at 200 pounds per square inch.
Ah,
It's a double acting, so it pushes from the top and then it pushes from the bottom.
Now, I've been curious. I know the main cylinders, but I've seen these two that move kind of like this, so to speak. Well, you know, kind of like that. What are those types called? That's something I've been curious about.
These are pop valves.
Ah, poppet
If
valves.
the pressure gets too high, it'll pop and let some of the steam out.
Ah,
So it goes in here at 200. It comes back out at 100.
so that's the middle pressure, right?
So this is bigger because the pressure is smaller, and that way you get the same horsepower out of both the first and the second cylinder. You go to the third one here.
It's the largest, so it'd have the lowest pressure, right?
Now it's down to 50 pounds.
Yeah.
So this stuff is huge. So that it can get the same pressure out of it, the same
Yeah.
horsepower out of it.
Yeah, so
Put
this,
them all together, 2,500 horse.
wow.
I've seen race cars before.
Of course, so machine shop / part storage,
Yeah, that's the original machine shop.
still used for obvious reasons.
Yeah. If you go down to the far,
Oh, right here, that's for the lubrication oil, right? The oil lines?
you're doing a lot of reading.
Well, yes. Got to get this stuff greased up somehow. After you, sir.
And now, if you look down at the end,
Here?
you can see the ends of the two boiler drums.
Oh, yes. I see.
One on the left and one on the right.
All right, I see here. I see the water glass. Similar to what they have on steam locomotives. That tells you how much water you got in the boiler, along with all the various valves to control them. Pressure, steam intake, water intake, etc. Right? Give or take. Yeah. Is that the main steam gauge there?
Oh, I don't know what that is. I'm deaf.
Ah,
Some of this stuff I know what it is because I used to work in a shipyard and I tested everything, but this is a little bit before my time.
uptake casing 1 and 2 go straight up to the stack. Give or take. That's probably been here for a while. CO2 release stats. Fire suppression, early fire suppression, right? Alright then. Life jackets. Good to have those on hand just in case.
Keep the house formed for us.
So basically an indoor heater or something?
Basically, it's a heavy-duty furnace, house furnace.
Ah,
And the thing, it might possibly also heat our hot water.
ah.
I've never seen a hot water heater around here, guys. That's incorporated in that.
Well, I mean, technically a boiler could count as a hot water heater, except it boils the water to where it's so hot after use.
Oh, I'll tell you what. In the summertime, this thing gets so hot, you don't need any hot water.
Oh, I know, you could probably come down here without a shirt on and be fine.
It got so bad one day we took the ship across the bay and we had our visitors passing out on deck. We had
Oh, dear.
some passing out on deck. We all have nice legs to sleep into so damn hot to sleep.
Oh, dear.
We got 2 air-conditioned spaces. And we said, the hell with it, we'll all go in there. So we had men, kids, everybody's going to do.
Ah,
So anyway, here's the connection wall.
ah, yes.
When they're running, you can come right up and stand right next to them.
You just don't, yeah, but it's also kind of like a common sense thing. It's like those old fans that have the cage mesh. I call them common sense fans because back then, common sense would tell you not to stick your finger in them. Well, here, common sense would definitely tell you not to stick your head where massive moving parts are at, right?
Yeah. But then you got other people like my son.
Oh,
I
dear.
brought him down here one time while it was running. And here he is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you had to give him some tough love then, right? Because,
Nah, I just said, don't get your shirt cut.
yeah, right?
Now my son is a climber.
Oh, wow.
And he told me he was going to climb up Seneca Rocks, which is like a 600-foot cliff in West Virginia.
I've been through West Virginia. That was one of the places I went to before coming up here.
Okay. And I told him, I said, when you go there, call me after you come back down.
Generators, right?
Original generators, these are DC generators.
Ah, yes.
Put out 60 volts. This sucker is still working, so don't lean into it.
Well, of course, that's the whole fuse panel. Oh, you said AC or DC? Excuse me.
Well, this is all DC, but I think that we've got some AC running through it now as well.
So the lights indicate that you've got power going through that thing, and basically don't touch it unless you want to get a new Albert Einstein electrocution hairdo, right?
Exactly. Now,
Oh, wow.
when they were, when it was first running, this was it. They didn't have any AC. It was strictly DC.
Ah,
And everybody carried flashlights, and they still do because it gets dark in here whenever.
oh God, I know.
So we've got AC generators we can switch over to keep everything going.
Like right now, right?
Right now it's running off AC.
Yeah.
And I've been out on the bay steering when the power went out. Something tripped the generator.
Oh
And
dear.
everything just keeps running because everything runs on steam. And we switched over to the other produced generator, and it kept it going, and nobody knew about it except for the guys at the engine and the guys that were up on the bridge.
Oh wow. It's like, don't worry, passengers, everything's totally under control.
You're doing a fine job, fine job.
They saved the real technical stuff for me.
I see. Hey, you know what? I've seen water on a car.
Well, here you go, Jesse. Genuine steam engine right here. Wow. Donovan Broomfield.
Hi, that's it.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
He keeps it running.
I'll give you points on it.
This guy knows everything I'm showing him.
Yes, huh?
Revolutions, that's the amount of rotations, right?
That's one of three that all say different things.
Ah. Well,
That's the best looking one, though.
hey, as long as it works, that's better than nothing.
You know what? The previous owner probably moved the clock.
That's
back.
right, they
So,
It was the school.
is that the reversing valve or
this is a reversing engine,
reversing engine?
okay? And this is a steam engine. Everything on here,
Steam powered.
steam powered.
Yeah.
So it's a little steam engine. It rotates this crank here, pulls that arm. You know what a Stevenson linkage is?
Yes, I've seen steam locomotives have a similar
Okay, so we
thing.
have the same thing. So like up here,
Let me get back so you can point it out. There you are.
well, it's up here. So these eccentric rods are running the valve here. This one's lined up right now.
Ah, yes, I see now.
Okay? And that little arm, and then you got this linkage back there. So that big arm right there,
Yeah.
let's attach that here, pulls this drag link, and it would change it from
Reverse to forward and then forward to reverse and possibly, well, I don't know. You can't put a ship in neutral, can you, right?
well, you kind of can if you get in between. It won't do anything. But
Yeah.
it's you can do like on the railroad they do linking in, we can link in, kind of.
Yeah.
You're not completely in one place or not. But we usually don't do that, but you can. So,
Yeah. Main boilers,
yep, main boilers.
oil fired, if I'm not mistaken, right? Usually by the time they started building these, they would have been oil fired boilers.
They were. These were always oil fired. We changed the oil we burned from heavy Walker oil to diesel oil.
Whatever works, right?
Yep. So these are steam powered pumps. These are fuel oil transfer that pumps fuel between tanks. And these are fuel oil service pumps that actually pump the oil out of our day tanks into our fuel rail here and into the boilers. And then these are the, this is
That's,
a burner gun basically. It's got a tip,
yeah.
atomizing tip.
So that basically you just light it up, stick it in there, and then boom, fire, basically.
We'll fill all these up. And then basically, like I said, this is,
Of course, she ain't running now, right? It's just
no, it's not running, but that's,
Yeah.
well,
basically a fire damper, right?
well, no, that's how we light it. Okay?
Oh, yeah. So
I'll take you where you can see inside better, okay?
oh, I see now. I can see it.
But basically,
There you
we
are.
have a torch.
Oh, yes.
And we just stick it in there, crank the fuel on, we damper down the makeup air, and we light it. Okay? Then we got a periscope, even though we're not a submarine.
Yeah.
So,
So is that for the different times, the different time zones?
What's that?
The clock with the different flags. I've never actually seen that before.
I don't know where that came from. Definitely wasn't a standard issue.
Yeah.
no, that's new. That's new.
That's just to help y'all keep track of time, right?
So here's our periscope. Do you see the light?
Oh, yeah. I see it now.
Okay, so what's going on there is that's just a mirror and a light bulb. There's a light bulb on the other side of the uptake. Okay? So that the fireman water tender or the engineer down here, when they're lighting off or doing something, he can look in there. You can see right now, it's real clear. You can see that light bulb clear as day.
Yeah, I see it.
When we first light off,
Can't see
you
it.
can't see it. It's totally black.
But then when it
Sorry.
clears up, they'll let you know you've got good exhaust flow, right?
Yeah,
More or
we-
less.
This way the engine room crew can monitor and see, are we making smoke? Because you know who can see smoke? The enemy.
Yes.
So they don't want to make smoke. Bad way to make friends in the conflict.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
So,
If you hadn't been at the Coast Guard.
Yeah. Main bulkhead, watertight doors, right?
Yep.
You want to see the lower storage area here.
Oh, the lower hold.
This is the only one that you can get to without,
Oh, wow. Look at that.
now over top of that is the top of the queen deck. And that was the area that we first came into when we first came down below.
Oh, wow. Now that's when you guys first got the ship, right?
I don't know
Oh, wow.
who put this in. It definitely wasn't standard.
That's more or less like,
Coast Guard isn't real happy about
well, hey, whatever works, right?
it. But,
Wow. And to think there was all sorts of stuff in here, you know, supplies, tanks, whatnot. Munitions. Don't know if the ship ever carried that.
oh, yeah. There was one of these ships that had, I forget how many tons of high explosives. And like a couple train cars full of munitions.
Oh, God.
And a couple thousand gallons of gasoline in those big, what do they call them, blister cans,
Whatever they're called. I don't remember what they're
and
called.
500 troops.
Oh, dear.
And somebody said, "Aren't you worried about carrying that many people on this bomb you got here?"
Did it make it?
Captain says, "Nah." He says, "They're all officers."
Question is, did it make it? They were lucky. I know there's one that wrecked somewhere. I forget where, but the wreck is still there because of the fact there's still munitions on board. It's named.
Chesapeake Bay.
Oh dear. Okay, that might be.
They've been using target practice for decades.
Ah.
Types of naval base shoots at.
So this is the lower hold here, right?
Yeah.
Now, is this just to give the floor some strength?
No, that's just the bilge there. In case they have to get down there,
Just lift the boards up and there you go.
yeah.
Wow. Upper hold up there?
Huh? Well, that's the queen deck.
Yeah, and then
This
you've,
is the lower hold.
yeah. You got the main bulkhead with the ribbing there, and then on the sides. Wow. I'm sorry, for me, this is impressive. Because I've been on quite a few museum ships. I've been on the Yorktown and Charleston and a few submarines. Been on the Laffey that's moored beside Yorktown.
Well, we got a submarine here in Baltimore too.
I saw it, the Torsk.
In fact, one of our crew members, he served on that boat.
Oh, wow. Oh. Just a service hatch for the boiler here?
What's that?
Right here. Don't want to make sure the sucker's off before you go in there, right? Don't.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to know.
Yeah, that's the manhole access to fire.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
And I imagine if you open that up, you feel the suction too.
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, if you let it cool down first.
I could be wrong, it might blow.
Reliance, eh? Is that for dampers here?
Is this still
No,
set up?
those,
Huh? Is this still set up for the engineers?
yeah.
You ever wonder what they do down here?
That's funny. I get it.
Now, what those are, okay, there's three guys who worked out here, at least in the original wartime condition.
Yeah.
One of them is the fireman water tank, okay? So he's responsible for the fires and the water level, and the fire pressure. So he's watching these gauges up here,
Yeah, the two brass ones, right?
two brass ones, looking at, so we normally operate about 200 pounds per square inch.
Wow.
So he's keeping it up around there. And he's doing that by the number of burners he's got going and stuff. He's also running with water from the feed pumps into the boiler. He's controlling them usually here. Okay, so, but he's got to keep the water level right, or else it will cause major problems.
Yeah, which you don't want to have on a steamship, basically.
So the fireman water tender normally kind of hangs around here,
Yeah.
and he looks up there at these sight glasses. Okay.
Oh yeah, right there. I see one.
Actually, that one's got the light bulb burned out. I got to change that. But he's watching the water level.
Yeah.
Okay? So those sight glasses, they can screw up. They can break. They can get clogged up with debris.
So you got to make sure they're clean so they work, so you don't get a false reading.
About every hour, this is coming on. Turn it off.
So that's basically like the on-off switch for
They're
the.
gonna, yep, they're gonna use valve over here. They're gonna blow it down
Ah yes.
and make sure it goes back to the right level. That way they know that it's reading.
Ah. How long have you been serving on the ship?
Oh, about a year, sorry.
What do you think of it? Something different, isn't it?
It is something different. If I didn't like it, I guess I wouldn't have been here, right?
Yeah.
We all kind of like that.
When I've seen video of the brine when it's running, I've seen this where the water's bubbling up. Is that just to let you know if there's water in the steam lines?
No, that's actually
Because I was curious about that.
the vacuum. Well, the condenser operates under a vacuum. So one of the ways we get to add water to the system when it gets low is to open this and use the vacuum to draw water out of the reserve feed tanks.
Ah.
So when this thing's bubbling, it's just a visual. You don't really need that, but it just
But it just
reminds-
lets you know that you've got a vacuum
it
going.
reminds you that this is open and water's flowing.
Yeah.
You know, if we're not adding water, it's closed.
And that's for the lubrication of parts of the engine. That's the lubrication lines.
That's right. That's the Mansell lubricator.
And they've got some on larger steam locomotives like the articulated one up in Wyoming, 4014. I think it has one. Oh, hello. What just kicked on there?
Huh?
I just heard something kick on. I was just curious.
That's our sanitary water electric pump.
Ah, so that gives y'all drinking water.
No, that gives us flushing water.
Ah, I see. Yeah,
All right, so back here, well, let's start over here. It's easier to follow.
that works.
So, triple expansion steam engine, right? It starts
Yeah.
at high pressure, goes through.
Goes-
Same steam goes through all of them, okay, and it drops the
Yeah.
pressure. So when it comes out of the low pressure cylinder, it goes into this pipe up here. See that great big pipe?
Yeah, there's one here, the one that's diagonal.
Yep, that's the exhaust,
Ah,
basically. And it's coming into the condenser. This is the condenser here.
ah, I see.
See, unlike like a train, they have water, it goes up in steam, it goes away, and then they fill up with water.
Here, you know, you can get
Here, we
that
use
condensed.
the same water over and over.
Yeah, so that gives you the the water that's from the condensed steam, and
This takes the steam, we're pumping seawater, okay?
yeah,
The main circulating pump here is coming out right behind it.
yeah, I see it.
Valve. Okay, so water's coming in here, it's getting pumped into the condenser. There's like a baffle in there, so
Yeah.
it comes in, it shoots down the other end, comes out, right down this pipe, and then it goes back out over the side, back to the ocean.
Ah,
But in that process, it cools the steam back to water.
sorry, let me get out of your way there.
Okay? And when that happens, it creates a vacuum because it's taking less space.
Yeah,
So this here is an air pump that's attached to the low pressure cylinder. It's pumping the air out of the condensate,
yeah,
and it's pumping the liquid condensate into a filter tank. And you can see our high-tech filters there, which are basically towels. And some sponges are in there.
you know, hey, whatever works, right?
It works. And then it goes into one of these feed pumps.
Yeah,
Right now, one's under
repair, yeah,
But the feed pump pumps the water through a preheater Okay,
The heat,
heater we call it.
and that heats the water,
Heats it back up a little bit and back into
the boiler.
through those valves I was showing you.
Yeah, so it basically allows you to reuse the water from the steam.
Right, we reuse the water and we use waste steam from the exhaust from all these pumps
Yeah.
to preheat the water so that the water is as hot as it can be when it goes back into the boiler.
That way you don't have to waste steam trying to heat it up again.
Right, the boiler has less work to do. So, you got it. You want to give this a tour?
You guys know a lot more than I do regarding it. I just know a little bit.
Okay.
Well, actually, I haven't seen you ask a question yet that
Well, I mean, I have actually. I've been.
most people even think about. Has your father ever tell you never to touch his wrenches with a hammer?
My stepdad is the guy who works in the heating and air field, so I wouldn't know. I'm sure there's a joke somewhere in there, right?
My father saw me with a hammer and a wrench, attempting to make my homemade impact gun.
I think
There was hell to pay.
Oh God.
But on here we got wrenches that are designed so you can hit them with a hammer.
Well, of course, because stuff gets tight. You'd have to use a hammer to get stuff loose. Because, like nuts like that, they'd have to be tight enough to handle all the steam pressure. Otherwise, you'd have leaks everywhere, and that would not be good. Right?
And we need to make more water.
Yeah.
You know how we make water?
By having the steam through the system.
Well, yeah, but if it all leaks out, you know how we get more?
From the
In
ocean.
the middle of the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Well, if we run out of water, we got water tanks that we use, but this guy over here, that's called an evaporator,
Yeah.
and it made fresh water out of seawater.
Now, is that working these days? 'Cause somebody told me it did.
No, it does not. It's not hooked up.
Oh dear.
But superheated steam, which is like 440 degrees, gets pumped into there. That makes the salt water boil. When the salt water boils, the steam is just regular water, and all the salt and minerals and
Goes down to the bottom of the
goes
tank.
down the bottom. And the engineer would have to come along and keep an eye on that. And he'd
Send it
open
back
up
out.
the valve, he'd send all that crap back out to the ocean and start over again.
Ah,
That would make 8,000 gallons of fresh water a day when it was
running.
running full. Yeah.
So, where'd you next?
These are the fire pumps here.
Ah.
Fire and bilge pumps.
Now, how many gallons could those pump out, like the bilge pumps?
These,
Like, say you got like a substantial leak somewhere but it's manageable. You can keep the water back somehow with them.
well, I remember, I don't know offhand, I think it's like 300 gallons a minute. It's not a whole lot. But we have, okay, so we have two General Service pumps. On the side of the air pump,
Yeah.
these two rams going down, those can also pump the bilge. And in a real emergency, this pump, which is the biggest pump we have on the ship, and the only centrifugal pump, it could also be lined up to pump from the bilge. So we could pump a lot of water out of the bilge, but I mean, if there was a big crack in the hull or something,
Yeah, that'd be a bit of a problem.
yeah, but yes, there's a lot of ways to get water out of the bilge.
Yeah.
Yeah, this ship is set up so that there's 3 or 4 ways to do just about everything.
Yeah, you've got basically 4 backup options, more or less. So it's like if one thing fails, you can move something over, more or less.
Unless you blow the end,
Oh God. Oh, yeah, you don't want to blow a gasket on a triple expansion engine. Oh, yeah, thank you. It's like just crouch and creep, more or less. Let's see, propeller shaft goes straight through the hull out the back, right?
Yeah, you could look in there in the shaft now, we can't let you go down in there, but
Oh, well, of course. Of course, I know at the very back you've got a little small engine to help with the steering gear for the rudder, right?
nope, not back there.
Oh.
In a different location.
Oh, well then. I'll just come through here in this nook and pick the camera down. So there you go, Shaft Alley Central for you. It's the beauty of having a camera. I can peek in even if I can't go.
I've never been in there myself. This is the thrust bearing.
Ah,
So all of the energy that we're getting from the propeller to push this baby forward, if it went into the engine, it'd throw all of your rods out of place.
which wouldn't be good.
So it stops here.
So that takes out a lot of the energy so you don't damage the engine more or less.
Right.
And this is where the ship is driven from.
Ah,
All the power for the propeller, like Ed was starting to say, all the power is applied right here. So whether it's pushing forward or pulling backwards, this is where the propeller force is transmitted to the ship.
and I can see this is where you store all of your other more heavy duty wrenches right there.
Those are medium sized.
Oh, wonder what the large looks like.
See, here's the impact guns here.
Oh, I see now, yeah.
Those are called slugging wrenches because you got to slug them to make it work.
Yeah. So, what's this thing here?
Huh?
This, I was just curious. Is that something?
Oh, I don't know.
It's not like a key that just helps prevent the ship from enemy capture, is it? It's not like a scuttling key, is it?
I don't think so.
Well, of course, I know if anybody ever had to do that, all you'd have to do is open sea chests, and that'd be about it.
I don't know the new ships for the time that would ever have to be scuttled.
Well, depending on what they're carrying. Say, what's this engine right here? This little one, is that another?
That's called the jacking engine. Okay?
Ah,
So basically, if we were working on the engine, all right, and for whatever reason, say we wanted to move this crankshaft to lead to this side, or
yeah. It would help you do that.
this is a little steam engine that's got a lot of gearing, and it will very, very, very slowly move the engine. I mean, like really slow.
Well, I can tell it would move it slow. You've got a large gear here and a worm gear that's connected to it, so it's a gear train more or less.
Yeah.
But this isn't left going all the time, right?
No, it'll be disconnected when we sail. It's connected now. We could,
Yeah.
if we had steam or air, we could fire it up.
Yeah. There's a vertical view of the engines.
When I was in the shipyard,
Yeah.
and they kept that.
Excuse me?
Once that was installed,
Yeah.
they kept it permanent.
More tools involved, like for making sure stuff can be fixed, more or less. Ah, got a fireman's axe there. I just noticed that.
What's that?
The fireman axe there. So I don't want to go full Jack Nicholson, right? Don't want to go full Simon. That would be bad.
One of the least of my worries.
Yeah. I guess this whole area here is where you
Funny
keep.
thing about ships, when things go to hell, it's like watching somebody yell, "Hey, Rube," in the circus.
Oh God.
People come out everywhere and take care of the problem.
It's like when just one wrench and all is simply not enough.
Yep.
So I'm guessing this is like another repair shop on the.
A little workbench. Yep.
When we get up above, I'll show you some of the others.
Yeah. So these are. I see one says waste oil. Is that for all the different oils
Those
for
are the different types of oils that we use on the ship.
lubrication of various parts and appliances?
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Well,
This here is the auxiliary condenser.
oh, right here.
Yep, so we're just starting up and we don't have enough steam going to really run the main condenser. This one will work when we're just running the auxiliaries to keep the cycle going.
Then you've got a fire hose here. Is that a nozzle there?
Yep, that's the attachment for it.
Let's see. Now, is this a blower here?
Yep, this is a portion draft fan.
Ah,
That basically adds more air for the combustion in the boilers.
now I see there's a valve here, but I'd imagine you've got to
No, this isn't a valve. This is just a handle to...
maybe get it started.
Yep.
Of course, I think it's connected to something now, so that's probably why it won't move, but I guess you'd use a little steam engine here to keep it going,
Yep, everything's run by steam.
which is good. Is this the tank you were talking about right here?
Yep, that's called a settler tank. But it's enough. This was supposed to be enough fuel for them to keep going for a day.
Ah,
Right now here, if you want, I'm going to show you. Everybody doesn't get to see this.
I'll keep my back against the wall, that way you can see.
So here
Oh, wow.
is inside. Okay, that's inside the firebox on the other side.
Oh, wow.
So the fireman, water tender, or the engineer can come here and
Take a
actually
peek.
look in there and see the quality of the flames.
Yeah. Of course, you'd have to have some kind of eye protection due to it being so bright.
But that's
And I guess that right there is the very bottom of the hole, right?
nope.
Oh.
That's the top. The whole bottom of the ship is, it's called a double bottom. And it's about a 30, it's about a 30-inch space. Okay, so that's the tank top. Now under the boiler, there's nothing there. It's just air. Under the engine is reserved feed water, so just water that they got from a hose in a port. Under the whole rest of the ship, originally was fuel. So like when you went into the hold in there,
Yeah.
you were standing on a gasoline, a fuel tank. You weren't standing on the hull. Okay, so now it's full of ballast water because we don't need 500,000 gallons of fuel anymore.
Well, of course, because you're not going to Europe or something. Not anymore.
And we can't afford it.
Well,
So,
And we couldn't even afford to go to Canada.
right. So,
yeah,
but yeah, that's a tank top basically.
it works. That works then. Well, I can tell y'all, if my grandmother and I were able to make it work, I'm definitely wanting to come back here when y'all are sailing.
Well, probably we'll be sailing with the public for next year. Where do you live?
Georgia, near Athens.
Okay.
University of Georgia's there.
I thought it was either Georgia or New York. I couldn't tell by the accent. But,
Georgia, like the southern state.
yeah. But yeah, just keep an eye on our website. And next year we'll probably have a few living history.
I will.
And then you can come down here and visit and see this stuff when it's actually cranking
Running.
around.
Yeah.
And once you see that, you'll sign up.
If I'm able to drive up here, believe me, I will.
That's what happened to me. I worked on it when I was a kid, so I was about 28.
Yeah.
Close to shipyard. And I mean, they were big tanks. I mean, 100 feet deep, 93 feet deep. And I
Wow.
go up and down with 2 arms full of stuff, forget the arm for the ship. I came in here, I couldn't go down the steps into the engine room, but it wasn't running. The next time I came back with crap, it was one of my trips.
Yep.
Holy crap, and I smelled that steam
It's
right on that.
it's like once you get hooked, you can't get away from it.
Until they pick you up and said, hey kid, give somebody else a turn.
That'd probably be me. I'm probably the one you guys would have to kick out because I'd want to just stay down here.
Oh, there you go. 50 feet. That's bad. That's over.
Well, you take care, man. Good luck.
Thank you for coming over this weekend, right?
Absolutely, sir. Thank you. Here's a better view of the rods here. Yeah. Wow. And there's where the oil would come down, those little channels on the back end there. I noticed these brushes. Is that where the oil is dispensed on?
Yep.
Ah.
When it's running, this is one of your main
Main rods.
rods, and underneath of these rags here, there are pads that when it comes up will touch the two wicks that are coming down there.
And that would dispense the oil onto them, and then there'd be oil running down the back there in those channels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that'd help lubricate the back part of the engine rods.
And now down on the bottom, they get in there and they feel with their hands to see how hot it is. And they also squirt in oil as that thing's going around, and it's going. It's got about a 4-foot throw on it, I think.
Wow.
But they'll stick their hand in and at the right time squirt.
Yeah, so it takes really good timing, more or less.
And huge balls.
Oh, God. Yeah, absolutely. Not everybody would want to stick their hand in front of onto a moving engine. That's good, because there's... I mean, you'd probably have to have 2 pairs of balls to weigh as much as this to do that. Well, all I can say is I can commend them. There is not many people today who would want to do that. Takes a special breed of people to run something like this, because not many people can do it.
Well, that's one of my gripes. So many areas on the ship are
Yeah.
off limits, and
Well, I get that. You can't show every...
who's going to steal it?
You know, it's like what? There's not many places you can go. You're on a boat. And besides, even if you tried to hide somewhere, somebody who knows the ship like the back of their hand will find you, you know?
And even the kids, when they come out of the academies and they're a captain, they couldn't run this one.
That's just how, that just shows, you know, how antique it is. You know, if nobody out of an academy now can know how to run this, something like this, then...
It won't be long, we'll be teaching the Coast Guard how to run this, so they can tell us how to run this thing.
Or it could, on the contrary, you guys might be teaching the Coast Guard how to run it, because there's not many of you guys left. Or not many people who'd be able to handle running something like this nowadays, which is a shame. I've heard of a lot of museum ships that had to be sunk or scrapped.
Well, that's usually money issues.
Well,
Like right now, we used to have a pier.
yeah.
We're paying for this one. But for 30 years, the state of Maryland
Well,
gave us free rent and free electric and free water.
yeah, I heard you guys were looking for a new pier to house this thing. I mean, is that going
Piston
okay?
rings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, piston rings, but yeah, how is that going?
Poorly.
Oh,
There's a pier across the other side of the harbor
that you're trying to look at?
that was actually where they outfitted this ship, where they built this ship.
I mean, I had to
They
search.
built them on the ways,
And then they launched them.
then they float them and finish them up before they ship them out. And they call that the outfitting pier.
So I'm
The
guessing,
outfitting pier that this used when it was built is still there.
but I heard they were going to try and develop it or something.
Well, we're trying to develop it. So,
Well, I hope everything works out,
me too.
because you never know. I mean, they might, whoever owns it may make an exception, because if they know about the ship, they'll know it was fitted out there, you know?
Yeah, you know what? Money.
Ah. It's like, how much can you give, right?
Money does not make exceptions.
Oh, you're right there.
So anyway, this is our pipe shop.
Ah, yes.
Now, when this was sailing, this was not a pipe shop. This was part of the
School
cargo space.
or cargo space. Yeah.
And this is the queen deck. So this is below us was what you were looking down at.
Yeah. So this is all more or less where you guys have all your parts being stored, right? But when during wartime, this was all a cargo hold. Now it's just mainly a space to keep this place running.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's like, I mean, it's kind of like a locomotive repair shop. There's not a plethora of spare parts and machinery lying around. You either got to make it yourself or use what you got, more or less. Way up to the top deck?
Going on here. Just the storage. Well, in here is my carpenter shop.
Ah,
A couple of saws in there. Probably a carpenter. A carpenter.
ah, I see there.
Oh, it's got the
Ah. Crew lockers for y'all? Wow. So is this equipment that y'all found? Or is this stuff that was on the ship somewhere?
You know, a lot of stuff we have here, numbers brought it on,
Ah,
and because we needed it. And some of this stuff we don't need it anymore. So, you know, we're going to give it away.
well, you know, like they say, better to have it and not need it than end up needing it and not have it.
That looks cool, yeah. We don't want to go back there. It's dark and holes in there.
Yeah, just more, basically it's just more storage for crew and machinery, right? Yeah.
The guy that just closed that cabinet,
Yeah.
he was our carpenter. I
Chief
didn't-
Carpenter.
I didn't know it until I've known him for about 3 years, but he also is a ship's master.
So he's a captain.
Yeah.
So he's like a captain and a freaking carpenter. Go figure.
Well,
Man of many trades. Something that you don't see very often.
he's not a captain anymore. He's gave it up.
Ah,
When he came to work here, somebody was captain because I did that for 30 years. He said, "That's my company."
ah. Cargo winches, right?
Uh-huh.
And I know those would be steam powered. Everything on here would be, mostly.
And the way these things work, I mean, it's a real pain in the ass. You got a boom over there, and a boom over here. So let's say you want to put something that's over on that side overboard. What you got to do is you got to move this boom over the side,
Yeah.
manually.
Oh, wow.
And then you put a guy on each one of these winches, and to go straight up, then both of them will go up at the same time.
Ah,
To go that way, he sprays out, he draws in.
ah.
So it's all, you know, basically it's just guesswork. Where do you put the booms? And once you get that done, it's not too bad of a trick.
I get it.
But on the new ones, you know, you push the button and you get the little joystick. And,
Yeah. And there you go. But on here, it's a lot more of a difficulty.
yeah,
And I see you got something to give the crew something to look at.
that's funny.
World War II pinup, right?
That painted that for us 30 years ago. And he came back, I guess about 2 years ago,
And touched it up.
and touched it up for us.
Got to keep the crew occupied somehow, right?
I was the one that I helped take it down and also cleaned it up.
Well,
And all over Facebook, I'm seeing Timmy seems to be taking a little bit too much time cleaning up Ronnie.
oh my God. Well, it's interesting having the Savannah beside it. Shows you 10 years in between when this thing was built and when that one was built. Steam and nuclear. So,
Right now, since a lot of the stuff on the ship is, since a lot of it is powered by steam.
But right now you've got a generator going. All right.
The generator's up there.
Oh, that's an air compressor.
This is an air compressor.
Ah, so that's the substitute for when you're not steamed up. I see. Another winch back there.
Yeah, these are the mooring winches here.
Blacksmith Sandville.
They keep the
Ballards.
back to the mooring winches to pick up the slack. And of course,
Is that like a back crew space?
this is where the armed vehicles
I
This
see.
is where the armed guard stays.
I can see there.
You have the marker range on the
Oh, I'm sure. Oh yeah. With that, you can put your differences aside, otherwise you'd get killed.
Exactly.
Cal vent here? I'm guessing this is a cal vent here, right? A cal vent. I wonder. Hello! Yeah. Oh. Ah, just more parts and tool storage. Just more parts and tool storage. You just have to use a lot of the empty space for parts storage and tool storage.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that ain't a problem. You got to do what you got to do to keep something like this running.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's no place else that you can get this stuff.
Oh, I know. You basically, other than making it yourself, more or less,
Well, even there,
it's kind of hard to do.
a lot of this stuff is specialized equipment,
Yeah.
special furnaces,
Yeah.
and you know, in this country, yeah, we still got a lot of rough areas, but
Yeah.
you know, if we got into a big war tomorrow, like our former president was talking about attacking Iraq,
Yeah.
that would be stupid, because the last time we got into something over there,
It took forever to.
we couldn't get stuff over there.
Yeah.
We got the greatest Navy in the world.
But you can't send it over the sand.
Right.
You cannot send a Navy over the sand. I mean, it's impossible.
And the thing is, you know, the Navy is not built up for delivering cargo.
Like it was when this thing was built.
It wasn't that.
Oh,
It wasn't that. These things were built specifically to get the troops and ammunition and fuel over to the war. And if it got there, that was it. One trip it paid for itself. If it didn't make it back out there.
Yeah. Because back then, these things were considered expendable. You sunk one, you could have another one built quick.
Before it would have, you have another one built before the first one would have sailed back from Europe.
Yeah.
This ship is a little different from most of the Liberty. I'll tell you about it when we get up top here.
Yeah, that way we're out of this thing because we can't hear. A docking bridge, right?
Huh?
A docking bridge,
Well,
more or less.
no, not the docking. This is just emergency.
Emergency steering.
The house gets blown off,
You can come back here and control the ship.
you can drive it from here.
It's like, hard left, Captain.
Onto the rudder and use the mooring winch to put the rudder where we need it to be.
So basically, it's a manual, semi-manual tiller. If it can do that.
Yeah.
Rear deck gun for defense.
5 inches. I did not have this. one after the first trip. They came back, went into the shipyard.
And they put it on.
Well, they modified it to carry some troops. We carry, I think, 500 to 600 troops.
Oh, wow.
And so they put extra guns on here that the normal Liberty didn't carry. And this is not the original, but we found one that's like that is the same gun as the original, not the same gun.
Well, I get that. You found a similar model, basically.
Yeah. Well, identical model. All we
Yeah.
gotta do is figure out a way to get it here.
I bet that was fun, trying to lift it on board.
Well, I wasn't here for that.
Ah. Yeah, there was some grain silos here. When did they tear them down?
What's that?
There was some grain silos here, some old silos. When did they tear them down? Recently?
Yeah. Yeah, where that big pile of dirt is there, that's where the
They used to be?
building was, yeah.
Yeah. Those y'all's lifeboats there? Are those y'all's lifeboats there?
Those came off of, those belong to
The Savannah?
But they aren't the Savannah's boats. They might be the Americans.
SS America.
Yeah, it might be.
I'll be damned. That'd be interesting if those were some of those boats. 'Cause that,
That's a 30-foot boat. I'd love to have one of those. My first boat was an 18-foot steel white boat.
wow.
You want to go look some guns up there, or?
I don't mind. I tell you, if those did come off of SS America, like the passenger liner, then that's all that's left of it. It broke up at Ventura when they were trying to tow it. It got caught in a storm, tow line snapped, it wrecked. Sorry?
When was this?
1994.
Oh,
The ship wrecked in 1994 and it broke up.
the United States. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, so those are from SS United States.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Somebody told me that.
Well, might need to clarify it then.
There he is.
Hey there. After you, sir.
A young man that just passed me.
Yes, sir.
I knew him for about a year before I found out that he too was a captain.
How many people on here were from retired ship captains?
Retired?
Well, semi-retired or semi-active, whatever you guys call it.
We've got one that let's see, she's an old woman. She's like 31 now. She came to the ship. Her and her sister came in with their grandfather when she was 10 and her sister was 14.
Oh, wow.
The sister is captain, has her inside license, and is also she's a captain on one of the Staten Island ferries, and she's also a Port of New York pilot. And the younger one is 31. She just got her captain's license a year ago.
Oh, wow.
And she, I would say, is probably right now our official captain.
But she's volunteering more or less.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, nobody... I make as much money on here as she does.
Well, you know, it's...
I keep telling her she got to ask for a raise, you know?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to do that when you got a little, you know, very little coming in, more or less.
Yeah, but I'd say we probably got, probably 10 people
Yeah?
that have the papers to run the ship.
Well, that's better than nothing.
At least another 10 that used to be.
Might as well watch while I'm walking.
So, it took a lot of people to run. Like, you got a guy sitting here, right?
Got a guy sitting there.
And he...
Yeah, that,
Oh, somebody took it out here. I don't know how to do that.
maybe that. Oh, well.
Never mind.
Here, under. Yeah, somebody must have took the gear off, so if somebody thought it'd be a good idea to drop something on this thing, that might be a bit of a problem.
Somebody keeps doing that.
Let's,
Usually it's somebody that's not part of the regular crew. They say, oh, look,
well,
dangerous, you know?
not really. Oh, this works. So is this like a range thing?
This is to set the this is to set the range on the shells.
Ah,
So they basically try to get it like right in front of where a plane is and have it blow up there. And this is what sets the shell so to do it.
this white thing here, is that where you need it, where it would need to be set?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like whatever works.
I'm deaf through. I don't shoot it.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd be able to shoot anything with this thing anyway. Some freaking dials and all are missing. Let's see, maybe this one might work. Let's hope so.
Whoever keeps doing this, they tend to do
Oh.
something at a time.
Well, I say that. Well, this gives you a good idea.
Oh yeah, this is not one to fool with.
It's like, well, there's your problem right there.
And I'm not happy about them leaving it open like that. Why, watch, it might be lying. Definitely wouldn't be good for the camera.
Oh, I know. You might want to let somebody know they did their job wrong on that one. Don't ever leave part of a gun open, otherwise you're going to have a bad day.
Okay, let's go up forward here.
All right, after you, sir.
You go up into the house. Oh, look.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. It's like, oh, boy, what did I do now? Sorry. It's like, oh boy, what did I do now?
Big light rounds that they set on these,
Ah,
and they would slide off into the water.
now, were those like the little, were they the ones that looked like they had nets?
Yeah.
Ah,
And we were gonna make a couple, and what did we do? Make a couple, and just so people could see what they were like. And the Coast Guard said that's fine, but they have to pass the the modern.
yeah, the modern safety requirements.
They've got to work and they've got to pass the modern safety requirements with the rest of it.
Yeah. I guess, are they boarding to check you guys out or something? Huh.
They're probably looking to see if they're dropping anything.
I don't think y'all are. Nothing was running.
They're the wrong end of the stick for the soup pipe.
Yeah. And I don't think there's a boarding door, is there? Not on that deck.
They in the engine room, actually in the cargo area that we went into.
Yeah.
On the one side, there was something that looked like somebody put a trailer in there, a construction trailer.
That's like your septic tank, basically.
Yes, and we have machinery to clean it up.
So basically filtration, scrubbers, basically stuff that'll help clean the water up before it's discharged, right?
Yeah, look, it's coming in here too.
Oh boy. So is this another air vent here? An air intake?
I think
Oh.
that was exhausted, not exhausted, oil fumes from the tank. Okay, so this was extended, the whole house was extended a couple of feet to carry officers for when they started using it for carrying people.
Yeah.
This is the bosun's quarters. There's his office.
So that's his office right here?
And pretty much this is what all of the
Volunteer crew cabins look like, more or less.
and what they look like when they were out, you know. And
Yeah.
the thing was, they loved it. Even though this is the easiest place to get yourself killed.
Well,
They loved it here because they got good food all the time.
yeah.
They had their own bed. You weren't hot bunking,
Oh Lord, absolutely.
and that's why the armed guard, same thing there.
Yeah.
They loved it because any place else they'd be not in as good a conditions. And we got eggs
Oh yeah, little wash closet.
inside. And depending on what shift I'm on, my bunk is either in that one or this one.
Ah,
Usually this one, which is nice because it's right across the.
general alarm. If you were on this thing in the 40s, you would not want to hear that. Deck plans.
You don't want to hear it now. They've
Oh,
got,
absolutely. If you heard it now, that'd be a very, very serious problem.
but these rooms can get to be, 100 degrees easily. In fact, the one right above this, when we went on that trip over across the bay that I was telling you about before, the guy above this, it went up to 108.
Oh my word.
Him and his girlfriend checked out and got moved into a hotel.
Oh boy.
Uh,
So these are all like steam pipes, wiring, just basically very basic stuff.
This kind of, if you went to a hotel, you'd
Yeah.
basically see the same thing.
Yeah, it's basically, I mean, this is all just basically the crew deck where everybody would sleep and whatnot.
Yep. This was the crew's galley here,
Ah,
where they would cook for the crew. Now down below, I'll show you another place where they cook when they.
now I've noticed ships usually have these here. Is that just a soup pot or something?
It's for steaming crabs.
Oh, it's a crab steamer. That works.
No, it's got a double shell on it,
Ah,
and they can use it for heating.
of course, you're just using it to store water now.
Yeah, but you can still use it for cooking, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are we expecting the tops to be like plain blues next to it?
Yes.
Okay, they're here. I looked over, I'm sure they saw us and over the way.
Here's the ship's blueprints here.
Yeah,
That's invaluable to have now. Water?
they were expected.
Yes.
Okay, so let's.
After you, sir.
All right, you want to see?
You know the ship, sir.
Huh?
I'm like, you know the ship.
Oh yeah.
I'm just the visitor. It's like back down below now. Yeah, my friend from Connecticut, his name is Jesse. He's working on a film about a Greek passenger ship that sank about 30 years ago in 1991 called Oceanos. And he's been interviewing survivors and people who helped with the investigation and all that. So,
Okay, now down here, this is where they kept the passengers. They wouldn't let them go up above.
because that was the crew deck.
Well, they wouldn't let them go up above because they didn't want them to be seen,
Ah,
because they didn't want, that would make them a target.
yeah. You've got the
Better
main.
that they think that it's an empty ship going back, or
Yeah.
a ship going carrying cigarettes or something.
Yeah. So main.
This I actually saw in use one time.
So this was this is the surgery room basically.
Our ship's mascot was having his foot worked on.
Oh, y'all have a dog, a cat?
Oh yeah. And we've even got our own veterinarian.
Oh, I see.
That's his nose sticking out. And he runs the Glee Club.
Ah, yes.
So anyway,
After you,
Now,
sir.
The hospital for, the crew is just a bedroom, just a
Ah.
stateroom. It's only got two beds in it instead of 4. Now this here, we use it as offices. During the war, they would put prisoners of war in here. If they were carrying troops, the officers that went with the troops would get these rooms here.
So basically, for prisoners of war, this would be like a brig, basically.
Yes.
Ah.
Okay, now,
Is this, I'm just curious if that was steel or whatnot.
that is what you call magnesite.
Oh,
Kind
magnesite.
of like concrete, only instead of calcium carbonate, you've got magnesium carbonate.
Just gives it extra strength.
Yeah.
So,
As with everything else in World War II, it probably has asbestos mixed with it too.
oh, well, you know, it's fine. It's fine as long as it doesn't get airborne, it's fine. Anyway,
You know what? When I was a kid, I used to go when my father had his car worked on. Every 6 months he took it in. Had the brakes adjusted and yada yada.
yeah.
And I can remember standing there watching him work on the brakes, and the mechanic would say, "Take a step back now, it's going to make some dust."
Oh, boy. So,
So I've been exposed since I was 4, and I ain't dead yet.
well, amen to that. So, I see we're standing on where we were,
We're standing right above
The
where
lo-
we were before.
yeah, the lower hold, and
Yeah.
I guess this here is that to the open deck?
Uh-huh.
Ah,
Yeah, that goes to the top deck. Those are actually, well, they're exactly what we're standing on here.
yeah,
You've got
good solid wood. Now,
most of them. And
oh, it's fine. It's fine.
but like when we bring stuff down here, let's say when we're going out for a cruise,
Yeah,
we got to get all the food down here. We got to get the ice down here, the drinks.
yeah. You basically load it through the hold.
And
Still,
what we do is we've got like hooks that we hook onto those. Don't pick that up, please.
I'm not. I'm just saying you'd hook them into these and then
Yes.
Move
And
them out of the
you get
way.
That one and I get that one, and we heave-ho together,
move it to the side, basically.
and if whatever we were moving was too wide to go down through the hole from taking these out,
Yeah.
then you take out that I-beam.
Oh boy.
It weighs about as much as a car. It's a good
And-
2,000 pounds.
That's where I guess the winches would come in, right?
Oh yes, yes. And
And you've got a little crane there for, I guess, something.
yeah, I don't know what they were doing there. But now these ships used to break in two a lot.
Oh yeah, from the welding technique. That was still new at the time.
Right. And what they didn't know was that welds do not like a 90 to they don't mind that. They're just adjusting the boom.
No, I get that.
But they don't like a 90-degree weld. And that's what they had there. So when they figured out what the problem was,
They put those curved pieces
they
in.
put those gussets in to keep the boat from breaking in two.
Well, that's good. They're still doing their job, which is good. Good for y'all and good for the ship. Very good for the ship. So,
Let's see what we got here. Now the question is,
hey, it works. So this is where this regards to where they built the ship. I think are
right
these,
the outside there.
let's see, may I? Well, I may actually let you do it. I just flicks the switch, kills all the power for the entire deck. That'd be bad. Hey, there we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Ship's wheel.
This is the wheel from the very first Liberty ship, the Patrick Henry.
Oh wow. How'd y'all come across that?
Oh, probably stolen it.
Probably somebody bought it.
Probably somebody gave it to us.
Loaned it.
Or somebody might have had it, from when the ship was dismantled.
They kept it basically as a memento.
Yeah. And some of the stuff on here belongs to Maryland.
Yeah, state of Maryland.
No, Marine Administration.
Oh,
They were the ones that were the actual owners of the ship. Up till we got it. We own it now. But they did let us keep a lot of the memorabilia stuff, like the plates, the name plates.
yeah.
But if we ever get rid of the ship, we have to give this back.
Yeah, so if something comes up to where you guys have no choice but to, scrap it or something, you'd have to give all this back to them, more or less.
See, I'm thinking what we ought to do, if it ever gets to the point where they put us out of business, we need to take this sucker and drive it up on an island in the Chesapeake Bay.
Just make it so you can tour it on land or something.
You can tour it, but it's going to cost you $5 million if you want to move it.
Well, if you get to a point where you're desperate, sometimes you have to do absolutely desperate measures.
Now this one, yeah, see, on this one, okay, that's a 3-inch gun there. These are two 20 millimeters. That's different because of the number of people in there.
Yeah.
If you look at how long the house is, the house on this one is probably 12 feet longer than this one.
Than the one on here, because, yeah, I can see they have an extension right here. That was probably what led down to the engine room skylights.
Yes.
And then ventilation. There's the bridge wheel you were talking about, the flying bridge, right there on top of the bridge model. The little ship's wheel. I'm not slowing you down now, am I?
No, I just wanted to see what time it was.
Yeah, because I know you guys close at 2. That's what I was worried about. I was worried I wouldn't be able to make it. But
Well, I tell you, I've been, I said, you'd be the right person for me. Because I'll go on and, people say, how long does it take? I say, well, if you want to go through running and only see part of it, we can do it in an hour. Or if you want to get a real good tour, we can do it in 3 hours. Or if you want a really, really good tour, I'll talk to the captain. We'll get you a room for the night, and we'll finish it up tomorrow sometime.
oh wow!
So on the bow of ours, we've got, the bow of ours, we've got 3 guns up there. This is guns here, and on ours, we've also got guns back here.
So forward, midships, and aft, you had guns to keep for defense.
Yeah. Except for on this one, we have more.
And you know what's funny? If you had a tank on deck, if you had somebody who knew how to run one, that's another gun there.
Yeah.
You just had to make sure it wouldn't move.
There are pictures of these things on the internet with just stuff piled all over.
Oh, I know.
Like one of them, there's a picture out there with the PT-109 Kennedy ship
Oh yeah.
on the deck.
Uh-oh, somebody must have found out that the champagne in there was still good. I doubt it.
I don't know what happened to that.
Maybe somebody drank it. Don't know how safe it would be to do that, but oh well.
Now this here,
Was another hold.
this is air conditioning. Yeah, that was number 3 hold.
So this is number.
This is the twin deck of number 2 hold. And
So now more or less the mess hall, because I see there's another galley.
yes, much bigger than the one down up above. I don't know what they heated with here. Up above, they used to have a coal-fired stove up in there.
They probably use central heating in there. Oh, well, there's your answer right there. That looks like an industrial heater.
Yes. Now the heater might have been there. Probably was, because if you look up in the ceiling there.
Yeah, the air ducts, yeah.
No. See these boards that have a hole in them?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what those pipes stick through. And they've also got spots on the, originally had spots where they sunk into on the deck here.
Yeah, because they used this as a training ship until the early 80s.
That wasn't what this was here for. They didn't sleep over on it. They They ran
Yeah.
all the steam equipment, but they did not run the engines. While it was sitting there. Now,
So it was docked, but they didn't like have it moving. They didn't sail it when they had people
Right.
training on it.
right,
Well, that doesn't make sense. You'd think.
but
Well, I say that. I'd imagine I could understand they wouldn't run the engine because by 1980, 81, there wouldn't be a lot of ships that would have a reciprocating engine in use. Steam turbines, maybe, but.
yeah,
And you know, it's funny, even those are rare now unless you're on some ships in the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Like Arthur Anderson has still got its steam plant, but it's a turbine.
so let's see. Yeah, this and number one are the only two places on a ship that's air conditioned.
Oh, I bet.
And when we went to that real hot place on the other side of the bay,
Yeah,
on 2 nights I tried to sleep in my room.
couldn't do
I
it.
was out laying on the deck and I knew like we were climbing anywhere. And we had a bunch of kids on board with us that were
Oh dear.
crew members, kids and that sort of thing.
How about that was fun?
You know, and you got to try to stay the hell away from kids, you know.
Because then they'll start asking questions or they'll be nagging and all, and it's
No,
Well-
you know, he touched me. You know,
it's like, oh, for God's
I used
sakes.
to be a teacher. Those are the words that make you get turn pale.
Oh God, I know. I'm not a teacher, but my grandmother, she was. I think she could sympathize.
But, so anyway, it got so hot I thought, screw it. You know, those kids can move into my bunk. I'm going down below, and we had one guy down here that he got thrown out of his room because he's on a CPAP machine. So they threw him out of his room. He was down here.
Oh, bless him.
We had one of the big wheels on the ship that was down here because one of the volunteers had the beginnings of a heat stroke.
Oh dear.
So he was there, and she was here, and then I was in this one here, and the chief mate was on top of me.
Ooh boy. Well,
And the only thing that was bad about it, I don't know how she slept, because for me to roll around and roll over in this thing, I had to like throw myself up sort of to a fish flop. And when I did, I was invariably crashing into her. But and I asked,
heavy sleeper.
I asked her if I kept her awake, and she said no.
Yeah, I know regarding the 1994 thing for Normandy, the O'Brien was able to come back. It sailed all the way there.
Coast Guard stopped us.
Ah, dang.
Coast Guard has been. Are you filming right now?
I can stop us. I need to actually stop. Sorry, all the time's running out. Let me stop here. Ah ha ha! Just gotta. No, I don't mind the equipment stored down there. That's normal. So that's. Oh, I see you've got
The Jeep is like World War I.
Ah, well.
And it was left over there with the French, and the French rebuilt it, and they took it to Vietnam, and then we went over there and we brought it back with us, and we meaning the military. They rebuilt it. Actually, they gave it to us. One of our members rebuilt it, and there's the original life preservers there.
Oh, I see, and I can see you guys got a spare prop in case, God forbid, something happens and you lose the one you currently have.
And that, my friend, is why that Greek ship is going nowhere.
Exactly. So you guys have essentially a free parts source.
We did. We did.
Did.
And, you know, I can picture us giving the ship to them sooner than them giving their ship to us.
Well, if you needed.
I could see us getting into a situation where, you know, the Coast Guard says, look, you know, this ship's 100 years old.
So this is hold number 1, right?
We're in number 2. This is our ship's store right here behind us.
There we are. Oh.
Not quite.
Yeah, I think it would help if I hit the other one.
Okay, now this is the other one that is air conditioned.
Now that's good, where you just have the light on the flag. That's actually really good. Well, It's like, where's that confounded switch? It's like, hey, Bill, who got rid of the boat? Yeah, it's like, hey, Bill, who got rid of the light switch? There it goes. There it goes.
Now, I was saying that, that MARAD had the plaques and all, so these would all be
Oh, yeah, the builder's plates.
the builder's plates, yeah.
Yeah, and they,
own those.
I think they're the ones who own the Savannah right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen the Savannah Association's website. I know that I've read that they want to try and get that ship to somebody who will be able to preserve it. Why not give it to them? They're doing a good job from what I've seen. I've seen pictures where people have toured it.
Yeah, well, they've been doing a good job, but MARAD's been paying the bills.
Well, I get that. They want to find somebody who'll be able to keep it up financially, and I get that. And that's hard for any kind of museum ship. Like Queen Mary, I'm pretty sure you've heard what's been going on with it, right?
I think it's slowly rotting away into the desert.
From what they're saying, it could end up sinking because they've let it deteriorate too much.
Well, I'll tell you, every 5 years we take this to
Norfolk?
Norfolk, and well, actually, the Coast Guard.
Speaking of Queen Mary, there's her sister ship, Queen Elizabeth. It burned. It ended up going to Taiwan and ended up getting burned. So, go figure. That's how well that went.
The Coast Guard does, I don't have sonar, I don't know, X-rays. Anyway,
Ultrasounding.
ultrasound, yeah, they check the ship out when it's here so that we've got an idea of what we're going to need when it goes to dry dock. And generally when it goes to the dry dock, we budget like over $1 million for it.
Yeah, to make sure that it's, to make,
Not going to sink.
yeah, just to make sure it's seaworthy. So this is what it looked like when it was the,
This is what it looked like as the
School.
as the school ship.
I must say the livery looks nice. Have y'all, I don't know, how much would it cost to paint a ship like this? Like fully, like if it were
I don't
to,
know, but there's guys up above that could tell us.
ah,
Yeah, because we did have the decks painted. Maybe 4 years ago. It was just so much that, you can only paint so fast.
yeah.
Especially here in Maryland because,
Oh, God, I know.
it rains every third day.
I know. It's like England.
And when it's not raining, it's, yeah. It's funny, I went over to Ireland last year.
Oh.
And,
It's like you guys see the sign. You know what to do.
well, I went over there, it rained one time, and it was just a nice gentle rain. I mean, I'm dressed for a typhoon.
Yeah.
And we get, some spritzing. And, I come back here and it's, it's like I feel like I'm in a rainforest sometimes.
Yeah.
So what we usually do in here, we use this for meetings.
You like volunteer and board meetings, right?
Uh-huh. And sometimes we'll rent it out. We have weddings in here.
Oh, wow.
We've had corporate.
That'd have to be a very, very accommodating spouse. Or bride, excuse me, not spouse, bride. Listen to me talk.
Yeah, you you said it right the first time because
Ah,
some of these people, the wife is what spearheaded me.
that's surprising.
Like our one captain.
Ah, yes.
Although she's single.
Oh, well then. Plenty of bells.
So up there shows where the ground went during the war. When it went around the bottoms of
Oh, yeah.
South America and Africa, it was alone. The other ones where it's up.
Oh, yeah, that's where they crossed to go to England, to get to the English Channel, and this one went.
Yeah, no, that was with that was what, Popples.
Oh, wow. That's actually incredible. So it sailed, like you said, it sailed alone. Did it ever run into any U-boats?
No. They may have shot down a plane.
Something's better than nothing. It's better than being sunk, that's for sure.
It might be sunk, yeah.
Absolutely.
Being sunk can be quite an issue.
Yes.
But see, in here, they also had it set up so that they could put the bunks in here.
Oh, yeah, for the troop ship when it was carrying troops.
I imagine they probably have, probably 7 or 8 maybe lined up in there.
Oh, wow.
My mother was in World War II. She was a nurse with,
The Red Cross?
she was with the Army.
Ah.
And she was on in the Philippines with MacArthur. With MacArthur.
Oh, wow.
Right behind the lines. I mean, close enough that, that they didn't need a Jeep to deliver the bodies,
Oh, wow.
And she had all these stories. I think she enjoyed the war.
Probably the most excitement she ever had.
She only had 2. Yeah.
Well.
She only had 2 complaints. The first one, it was kind of quiet, and they thought they had all the Japanese out of there. And some of them went on a picnic.
Oh, no.
And the guy that she was riding with, he had a pet monkey. And the pet monkey did not like Mom at all.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is
And
going.
she's pulling her hair and pinching her and fighting her. And anyway, they get out on the beach and everything's, going fine. And all of a sudden people start shooting at them out of the jungle. Apparently some of the Japanese didn't know that they'd been cleared out of there. So I said, geez, what'd you do? She says, well, we got down, we shot back. And she says, when we got the opportunity, we hopped back in the Jeeps and we left. I said, that must have scared the hell out of you. She says, not really, you follow your training. She says, really, the only thing that bothered me about it was nobody shot that damn monkey.
I guess nobody got a chance to deliver that to...
No, it never got delivered.
Let's hope it's not live. It's like, don't...
I think we're all right.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, don't kick it, but okay.
And the other thing she didn't like, she came home on Liberty ship.
Ah.
And she said it rocked and it rolled. Now, she was an officer, so she was over in the
Oh, boy.
cages over there.
Oh, boy.
You get one person that pukes in here.
Oh, no, and it just spreads like
Everybody's
wildfire.
puking. It's hot. I mean, it was like this. It was worse than this. It was down in the tropics.
Oh, no.
They could not. They had these nice ladders to get out of here, but they weren't allowing people up on deck.
Oh, no.
So they were stuck down here for a few weeks. These things go slow.
Oh, boy.
I think 12 knots is about all you're going to do with it. Yeah, she had nothing good to say about Liberty. The rest of the war was okay.
Well, that's good.
Hitler guy, he was an inconvenience. But...
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Okay, let's, I guess I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah, wait, they have those...
We'll have to go out the hard way. Of course, I'm going to turn away from things.
Again, you guys see the sign. You know what to do.
So,
I will say, the lady you said you said was like I guess you could say the captain. Is she the youngest member on the ship?
oh, hell no.
Ah,
She was.
I guess until fairly recently.
When she was 10.
Ah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Now we got one fellow that I hang with a fair amount. He is, what, 34 now?
Yeah.
We got one guy that has his own company, takes people on tours down in Antarctica.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I can get this to fire up down here. Come on.
Oh, yes. Ship arms.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure those don't work, right?
Yeah, just in case things get ugly.
Oh, boy. Well. Huh. So this was where y'all were at originally, right? In this picture here? Right there, that's where y'all were originally at.
Not the crew.
Well, the ship.
This was just this was for the cargo.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the hold. I was talking about the picture here.
Oh,
Yeah, I was saying, is that the pier y'all were at?
no, that is, did you hear about the place where they had a few people killed the other night?
No, I didn't.
Fells Point, well, that's
Oh,
Fells Point.
that's a shame.
There we go.
Ah,
But I think she might be, she's probably our youngest captain.
oh, wow.
Okay, let's, oh, the chapel.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we got some more. If you start getting bored with anything.
No, I'm not getting bored at all. I'm interested in this. I'm very interested in this. Oh, hello. At USS New Jersey. Here, I've got the door. Oh, yeah, I see now. So, this is y'all's chapel. Oh,
All right?
I'll be all right.
So, some people like to sleep through church. We're ready to accommodate them.
Well, whatever works. So these are all of the former crew, right?
Yes, these are our dead crew members.
Well.
This lady was a U.S. senator,
Oh, wow.
and she was how we were able to pull all this off, because she got the law changed so that
So
we
she was so she is the reason this ship is still here.
yeah, she got the law changed so that we could cruise her. Her and another one. She was a Republican and a Democrat, and it was back when we used to have two parties that could actually work with each other.
Oh, exactly.
This guy, remember?
Back when they could compromise.
Yeah. You remember Abbott and Costello?
I believe so.
Well, that's not him, but but he and another crew member did an Abbott and Costello act that was like perfect.
Oh, wow.
The guy who got me involved with it is over here somewhere. John, where'd you go? John Miner. Best goddamn engineer since Scotty on Star Trek. The guy was unbelievable. I worked with him in the shipyard building supertankers. And he
Well, it takes a very special, like I said, it takes a special breed of people to run these ships, but it takes an even more special breed to know how all of them, how the more modern ones work and how to build them.
yeah, well, that guy, he was,
I will say, I love that mural.
yeah. Did you get a picture of it?
I got it on video. Yeah. My grandmother saw the times that we'd have to arrive. I told her, look, this is the only chance I'd probably ever have to go sail on a genuine steam-powered ship. And from what it sounded like, she might Not making any promises, but she might make an exception and bring me back up here so I could sail with y'all.
Get her tickets so she can sail too.
I think we'd both have to go, so. Yeah, I guess these are some of the shells that were used.
Yeah, this is the Marine Armed Guards.
Yeah, siren, more or less. Or no, that's
No,
a.
that's what these 20 millimeter
So,
bullets.
so it's basically an early anti-aircraft Gatling gun, basically.
Yes.
Spotlight, they would have been used for Morse.
Yep.
More or less.
SOS.
That's probably the only Morse code thing anybody ever knows. Of course, we don't need it here, hopefully. Knock on wood. But
What they're moving down the deck. I'm right on the wood.
so is that the steam-powered winches I'm hearing?
You know, it probably is, yeah.
Of course, it'd be using air now.
Yeah, it is an air. We don't use steam on them too much anymore because it puts out a lot more pressure. We don't want to blow anything apart.
So y'all use air. So basically, the only part of the ship that still uses the steam is mainly for all the main things, you know, the engines and all that stuff.
Yeah, engines and the auxiliaries.
But just everything else, like all the on-deck equipment, uses compressed air to make it a little bit easier.
But we still can, you know.
Well, yeah, you still can. It's
The thing
just
is to get the power up for, it takes like 8 hours to get those
oh, I'm sure.
boilers lit up.
I've heard of this. You know, basically loose lips sink ships.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
When my friends go out, well, the girl captain, she's out now. I have no idea where she is, neither does anybody else. She's loosened up. She'll put stuff on Facebook now and then, but it never has anything to do with where she is or anything else.
Oh wow. I don't know if you've heard of the artist named Ken Marshall, but he's painted pictures of ships from, like, mainly passenger ships, mind you, from various incidents. You know, Andrea Doria, the Olympic class liners, you know, Titanic and all. But I don't think he's ever painted a Liberty ship. I'll give the artist who did these points. These are incredible.
He might be one of ours. Maybe not. I don't know how he signs, but one of our captains is. Well, actually, some of our captains are saltwater captains. Some of them are inside captains. 2 separate licenses. And we've got a number of them that are inside captains with their pilot licenses, so they could take this ship, but they can't go out into the ocean with it. And we've got one of them that has, I know, he's painted a lot of these.
Yes.
I had a picture that I took when I was working in the shipyard. They didn't let us take cameras down there. Except when you're going out on trial trips. And my job required me to be along for that. And we came in from a trial trip and I was on the bridge of a Liberty, of a tanker, super tanker.
Oh wow.
And there was another super tanker sitting at the pier. And on the other side of the pier was a Liberty ship.
Was it this one, or was it one of the ones that no longer exists?
I have no idea. All I know is I took a picture of that, and I went to Giant Food Market to get it developed.
Yeah.
Damn if I didn't get somebody's Hanukkah pictures. And I never got my pictures back, and that guy probably was, looking forward to seeing all his cousins and everything from his Hanukkah pictures.
Oh wow, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Somebody majorly screwed up there.
So after that, I never again took my pictures any place to have them developed unless I could sit there and wait while they did.
Well, nowadays I know all you have to do is go down to a local Walgreens and you can stay there to make sure they're developed. because I do photography as a hobby. I've actually had some of my photos displayed, and I've usually went over to Walgreens to have them printed. Let's see, can we get out this way, or are we gonna have to do it the hard way?
It's easier to go this way.
Ah, fair enough. But yeah. Was this another kitchen? Because I just noticed the brick.
Here's the Merchant Marine.
Oh yeah. Ah,
Oh. Take a tour through.
I just noticed all this, all the engine room and stuff.
Huh?
The engine room stuff in the case. Old telegraph engine order.
That was our ladder. It's a ladder.
Oh wow.
Here's our oldest captain.
Hello, sir.
Hi,
Donovan Broom,
nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Georgia, Athens, Georgia.
Oh, okay, very good.
I took him down in the engine room and he's showing me what everything was.
That's all that stuff is, huh?
I'm trying to get him to move up here.
What's that sure steam power, huh? Turn around for a minute. Let me read the back.
Cass Scenic Railroad, Cass, West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love that. Have you ever been there?
No.
Oh my God, it's got.
This trip marked my third time back there. I'm hoping to go back for at least one more trip because they're getting the route from Cass to Durban rebuilt and they're almost done with
He even
it.
speaks Georgia.
He does, yeah. He, yeah, instead of going choo 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 choo, it's geared, and it's got 3 pistons mounted on the one side, and they're going like this,
It's a Shay.
and it's going a Shay, yeah, and it's going maybe 5 miles an hour, and it sounds like the end of the world.
Uh-huh.
Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, they were meant to haul logs. That's why they were built like that, is so they could get up mountains.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't meant to be fast, they were meant to be strong, have strength to them.
Yeah, my peeps are from not too far from there.
Old life ring there, life preserver.
Well, Denny, if you will secure this
Two
one, you guys
logs.
are done in here.
It shouldn't be too much longer. A light ship there.
Your time.
Ocean going tug, I'm guessing.
Huh?
The tug there, is that a...
Turn the light off when you're done, Denny.
Okay.
Guessing that's a, I'm guessing that's a tug or a early pilot boat, perhaps?
Yeah, it could be either. It's built like a tug.
Yeah, it looks like a tug. Whatever works. Whatever works. Royal typewriter there. I believe that's the light there. There we are.
That's one of them.
Oh, looks like it's off. And yeah, of course, you got some engine room equipment from other ships on display, right?
Huh?
Right here in the display case.
Yeah, those things are precious.
Let's see, a light, voice tube. I'd imagine that there would be letting you know with the angle of the rudder, I would believe. That little piece there.
Probably, yeah.
Steam gauge, bell, engine order telegraph, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that would have been a kerosene lamp, in case you lose power, water glass, 2 actually. Bear in mind, I'm going to be honest, some of this stuff I do know, but some of it I am guessing. Like, I know what an engine order telegraph looks like, what a steam gauge looks like. Like that there, that was a guess, because I'm not sure. It looks like something you use to measure the rudder position, unless the triangle piece there is what that's for.
Why don't we head on up above and I'll show you the real one.
That'll work. I would think there's a staircase going up through
Oh, there's
there.
one here.
Oh, that works.
I don't know what Paul was doing. If he was turning on all the lights or what he was up to.
I'm pretty sure my grandmother's going, what in the hell is taking that boy so long? Oh,
So what's your major down in Georgia?
I'm just working with my stepdad. I haven't started college.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
No, I went on ahead and started working. Not really getting paid for it, but you know, it is what it is. Besides, no dang college can teach you how to work on an air conditioning system out in a controlled environment. You got to learn it out in the field. May have to switch devices to continue videoing, but that's fine. I love a lot of these older ships because you've just got equipment and whatnot absolutely everywhere, and it's very interesting to me because now you don't really see it much. Bless you. How was lunch? I believe I'm going to end the video here because my battery's dying, and I'll switch over to my phone. Sir.
Let's go up above and see what's here.
All right, I believe this would be for the bridge, right?
Well, no. This is the main deck here.
You all right?
Yeah.
All right.
Now, these are probably all locked.
Well, I mean, it's.
This would have been officers.
Well, there you go. Perfect guess. Oh yeah, I
The
see now.
officers,
Oh,
they get a wider bunk.
got storage underneath.
They don't have to climb over somebody to get to it.
They've got a common sense fan, what I was talking about, where you didn't, common sense told you not to stick your fingers in.
Yeah. Of course, common sense would have put it over the window, but
You got a point there.
they've got a sink
Yeah.
that you can't. You don't want to get the water from it in your mouth.
Oh yeah, that'd probably be straight. That'd be straight up salt water, wouldn't it?
No, it's fresh water.
But you just really wouldn't want to risk drinking it.
But the thing is that, if you're going into a tank and it's sat there,
Yeah. Of course, the water from this is safe to drink, right? The water fountain.
Huh?
The
That is filtered, yeah, you can drink out of that.
Speaking of which. It's cold too. That's good.
Uh-huh.
It's nice to have cold water on a day like today.
This is our chief engineer's cabin here.
Door's a little bit wonky, isn't it?
That one is locked. That's actually the chief engineer's office. This is his cabin.
Oh yes.
So he's got a double room here. He's got a set. No toilets, but they've got nicer toilets than what we've got down below.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look, he's got a
Little
a gauge on there to show the
that
listing.
inclimeter. That's what that would have been, an inclimeter. I think Jesse told me that's what that was, an inclimeter.
So anyway, I don't know where the third mate lives, but this is the
Chief mate,
second mate here.
or second mate. Oh wow. Now the furniture, that's all original, right?
A lot of it is. Well,
Well, it's most of it.
the beds probably are, but then again, we've got our own ship's carpenter that I've seen him rebuild them.
Yeah, and then you've got the little kerosene lamp there. There we are.
And then this is the chief mate's.
Oh wow. Of course, I'm pretty sure you'll have a more modern heater, right? I don't think those radiators would still.
They work.
Oh, they work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Remember that furnace that was down below?
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now.
Oil furnace down there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in the wintertime you live like a king on here.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about freezing your ass off on this boat. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be in front. There you are, sir.
Let's see, one of these rooms. Hospital.
Medical office.
Yeah. So here's what we get up here.
Oh yeah.
No treatment facilities. They've got a bed for you to die in.
Oh, I'm sure they'd have to give you something. They'd have to. Otherwise, it'd be quite an issue.
And up here, we've got We got bigger bathrooms for them because.
Yeah, basically like wash closets and all.
Yeah.
Got a stretcher there, right?
Yeah. So this is the boat deck.
So you'd have lifeboats up here, right?
Yep. Hence the boat deck.
Shower room there. A general alarm.
Oh, look, that's got a ladder. I'm going to screw a ladder.
Oh yeah. Got a
I can make
safety
that
bulletin.
bump real easy.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, I see the lifeboat here.
so we got 4 of them. They're royal paint put down. Everything is manual.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
to hook a handle onto this.
And you've got to crank them. You have to hook them up, crank them up, where they're able to go over the side, and then you have to swing them out, right?
Somebody's taking pictures on it.
Oh yeah. And I can see where there's been paintwork going on.
Oh yeah.
And of course, the salt water doesn't do you any favors.
Well, we used to be moored next to a salt pile.
Sorry, what?
We used to be moored next to a salt pile.
Oh God. And there's a bulk freighter over there offloading God knows what, stone probably.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Stone or ore, one of the two.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen that pier being used.
That looks like a self-unloader.
Yeah.
They have those on the Great Lakes now. They've got a lot of the older ships to where they've got a conveyor belt in the hold, brings the ore up, puts it on the conveyor belt bridge, and then off to the side it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, they save all those engines off.
Yeah.
These go all the way down into the engine room.
Yeah, so those are the engine room skylights, and then you've got the vents for them.
And you got those vents that go all the way down there as well.
And I guess that right there is for the little oil furnace.
Uh-huh.
That's its vent. I can see y'all put a patch on right there. Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Now,
And I guess you could have these hooked up to a motor, since I'm seeing the gear tube, you can angle them.
no, it's hooked up to a wheel down in the engine room. You just
Oh, you can just turn it. Of course, that's
and these are our generators.
oh wow, oh yeah,
This was put on for us.
oh yeah, that works.
So we put those on.
So if God forbid you had something happen, you still have a way to get power, which is good. You know, it's always nice to have a backup plan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because they trip out a lot. Teamwork, no.
I see this.
Go on in.
Either way, sir.
That was open inside here, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think you walked me through most of the cabins. Like when in doubt, drink water. Always stay hydrated, especially on a boat like this.
You guys are doing a fine job. I saw you with
Doing good.
out there. I thought
We're working on it.
I thought you were fishing.
I got grease on my hands. Don't want to make you greasy.
It's fine, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I wouldn't have minded shaking his hand.
So this is the
Captain's
captain's
stateroom.
quarters. He's got the
Oh yeah.
and
There's your deck plans for you.
there we go.
God, I love. That's a major legend as far as having so much stuff, but I get it. For a ship that's old, you'd have to have a lot of safety gear all throughout,
Oh yeah.
which is good. It's very good.
You gotta see what that looks like on a big ship.
Oh, I know. It'd be more, well, a lot more than this.
Yeah. So this is the captain's office, which opens up into the captain's stateroom,
Which I can see through there, yeah.
and this is the only stateroom that has a bathroom and shower attached to it.
Oh, yeah.
Therefore, the captain is the most popular person on the ship.
Because they've got all the privacy.
Well, no, because they've got the bathroom
That would do it.
and it's 300 degrees on here.
Oh, God, I know. And then this is the bridge.
This is the bridge. There's your engine telegraph.
Engine order, which of course is at slow, but of course in a normal circumstance it would probably be set to stop and or finish with engines or standby.
This is
I think
a
we,
gyro compass.
yeah.
This is a newer one. This is what they look like on the super tankers in 1974.
Oh wow.
And Foster Wheeler brought us this one because apparently they decided they weren't going to sell it. And
Yeah. And you've got, I think, an early radar there.
that was an early radar that was not on the ship for most of the war.
Ah, so it was probably put on later.
This was put on after a year. Actually, not this one. No, I didn't show.
It's all right. It's all right.
This might be long.
Well, you know, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Um,
It's fine, but I mean, this is incredible.
I can get you in there, but it's not working.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, this was for the rudder,
So this is
the telemotor.
this works with hydraulics.
Yeah.
This works with steam, and I think there's a little bit of cable that works it.
Which I guess would mean you could do it manually if you wanted.
Yes.
Now, I already know what this would be for. Check this out.
Or the
Oh,
I'm not sure.
got all your communications there. That's probably for the bell or the whistle one. Voice tube would give orders down to the engine room.
Now these things were a son of a gun to pilot from in here.
Oh, I'm sure.
You got no side view. You got no rear view. This is opened up now, but when you'd be in an area where you could be getting hit.
You know, you'd have to flap these
You flap
down.
this down, you pull this up, and you got a space about that big to look out.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Of course, over there across the way is the NS Savannah, which, of course, isn't exactly open unless you have an appointment for it. Or if you call ahead, one of the two. But that one was built in 1952, I think. 10 years after. I think it was either 52 or...
about 62.
Well, it
It
shows...
it was in the 60s.
Yeah,
Because they had to build it, and it was Eisenhower
yeah.
that pushed it through.
Well, it's neat, and it's one of the only ships named after that city in Georgia that still exists, as far as the name.
You've never been on that one? It's kind of neat. It's what impressed me about it more than anything else was it's like half passenger cruiser, half,
Cargo ship. Yeah, it was meant to be both an ocean liner / freighter.
and it's got the early '60s furniture and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Ship's clock there, right?
I hate being at the helm from here. Because here I am back there, and all I'm seeing is a mast.
Yeah. It's better to use the bridge wings, but okay, I see that's probably for the bell. That is probably for the whistle right there, because it's leading back
That would look
towards
to
the.
me to be a whistle.
Yeah, look, it's leading back towards the stack, which would be about right. And if there's a bell, that would mean it's.
Here's your
Yeah, there's the bell right there.
here's your rudder angle indicator.
Oh yeah. Well, I would think that'd be what that would show too, right?
Yeah.
And I believe these here would be the general quarters right here. little brass bell.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I'm not that's above my pay grade. When I'm up here, I'm either going to be walking out on the bridge wing to see if something's trying to pass us,
yeah.
or if we're getting ready to hit something, or else I'm standing there where you are, pointing the ship where the captain tells me to point it.
Yes.
Actually, not the captain. The mates are the ones that are actually, the captain is the big cheese. But the mates are like, the captain is sort of like the foreman for the whole plant, and the first, second, and third mate are the ship supervisors.
Yeah.
So I'd be on here with one of the mates. Every now and then the captain is going to be there, but
Yeah.
not for the most part.
I see this brass thing here. I guess that's to lock the wheel to this so you can turn it, the rudder, right there.
Oh yeah, that's to engage it and disengage it.
Just lining it back up because I think I accidentally moved it. There we go.
Now this goes up above
Yeah.
to where we like to sail the ship from.
Oh yeah, the flying bridge.
Uh-huh.
So you probably engage it up there, and that's where you'd.
Ouch.
You all right?
Yeah, this is like right on top of there, and you got to look how close that is.
Oh man, that. Ooh.
And then
I'd say I talked to the carpenter about moving that over a few inches. Yeah, I mean really. Oh. Yeah, I think I see what you meant by that salt pile.
oh no, that's not that's not rusting metal.
Well, I get that. That is, but
This is actually something that is like a combination of asphalt and
wonder who thought that was a good idea.
and cement. Well, that was to stop shrapnel from perforating into the bridge.
Ah. Oh, look there. And then you've got the bridge wing, which is on the starboard side, right? I always get them confused, you know.
Well,
I know port is left because it's got the same number of letters.
well, and when you go out to sea, port is left behind.
Ah. There's a dang helicopter up there.
We used to be over there. See that Leonine cement
Silo.
silo over there?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, we were about over time we were right next to it and on up maybe a quarter mile.
Ah. Well, I hope y'all are able to find another pier because, yeah, my grandmother and I were playing hell trying to find this place. Because online, it shows you guys are being at like 2 or 3 different piers.
And I tell you, you go down that road and it's like you're not sure whether you're supposed to be there or not.
Exactly.
So from up here, of course everything's still covered
Yeah.
at this point. But we've got everything that we need up here, including a computer.
Yeah, for the radar. And then there's the ship's whistle
Yeah.
and the stack. Of course, I bet y'all have to wear ear protection for how loud that sucker is, I'm sure. Or is it not that loud? I know the modern ones are fairly
It's
loud.
that loud.
Ah.
Before the captain blows that whistle, he tells us it's blowing.
Well, this gives you a good overview of the ship's main deck here forward. I mean, this really is interesting to me because it's not every day I'm able to get onto a World War II freighter.
Yeah.
And you got,
It's a lot easier to get to than
yeah, the O'Brien, which is in San
O'Brien.
Francisco.
and the O'Brien. I mean, we are in a precarious position because of politics and money. The O'Brien thing. The O'Brien is set in those compartments. But if you have a tidal wave come in here, pretty much all the way back to the Appalachian Mountains is going to be dead.
Oh dear.
If you have a tidal wave hit where the O'Brien is, the O'Brien's going to go right through the Golden Gate Bridge on its way to the bottom.
Oh damn. So basically, if something were to happen, you guys would probably have at least some sort of a chance, so to
We'd have a
speak.
chance, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we might have to move to find a really generous sugar daddy somewhere, but at least we got a fighting chance.
Oh yeah. One of the guns, I'm sure.
Huh?
Right here, one of the other guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got more vents there.
And what we have, the way we have it set up now, we've got a homemade barrel on it that shoots propane. It kind of works like a potato cannon.
So it's
Sounds like the real thing. Every year before we go out for
a cruise.
a cruise, we test these suckers.
Oh, I bet they're loud.
Bap, 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 bap. And the next thing you know, the cops are here. Sometimes they come by water, more likely by land.
And they're going, what the hell was that? Just testing our munitions. It's nothing unusual.
What the hell is that?
Looks like a dang diver. A police diver. They're probably checking the hull.
Oh, I didn't even see him. No, there's something else down here. Looks like the stern unit of the inboard outboard.
It might be that. Who knows?
Is that a good bag?
Maybe.
Okay. Let's go up forward there.
All right. So, well, you lead the way then. Right there. Real quick though, I've been curious. I've seen these. What exactly is this? This is one thing I do have a question about. I don't know exactly what it is.
Oh, okay, well, it doesn't have all the pieces on it, but it has from here, a swing comes down, and that's where the parrot sits.
Oh, is that where you'd have a bird or something?
Nah, I made that up. That's a radio direction finder.
So that'd help you pick up a radio signal.
Yep, when it's pointed with the through part pointed at you. Like right now, it would pick up you, but it wouldn't pick up me because I'm off the center. And what they do is down in the gyrocompass room, they turn a wheel down there which turns this, and when they get the strongest signal, then they know they're pointing at that tower. So then they pick a different frequency and do the same thing, find another one, maybe they'll do a third one, and then they know exactly where they are.
Well, that works. I mean, technically you could also use it as a bird perch.
You could, yeah. I usually try to get some right where the bird.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to bring a brightly colored tropical bird on a Liberty ship in wartime. That is an obvious giveaway. Yeah, but still, that is a little fun thing. All right.
I didn't say that the radio room because they're in there working,
Well, I mean, that's all right.
but there's really nothing to see in there.
Well, of course, because you'd have to update all the equipment. So I don't think there'd be any way to really keep some of the original stuff. So I can understand
Oh, they
that.
probably got it. These guys are they're all scientists. Seriously. And I imagine that, I imagine he's working, but what they had in there, World War II was just it was a forgotten gift,
More or less a Marconi room, basically.
Yes, yes.
It must be inspecting the hundreds out of the hole, I guess. Oh, they destroyed. Oh, you said forward, right?
Huh?
You were saying like forward, right?
Yeah, but we can't get there from here. If you notice, there's not a ladder going down.
Oh,
All the ladders go back. And that is because that's because if they're going to get bad weather, they're going to be sailing into the bad weather. And it's no fun trying to go down a ladder when we got waves that are coming over the bow and going in the opposite direction you are.
oh yeah.
So anyway, that 83-year-old man, he had to go from the top of there on that Jacob's ladder all the way down to there. I mean, we're probably 30 feet up here.
Oh wow.
Plus he had another 10 feet.
Oh man.
And it turned out he needed a stent.
Oh wow.
I don't know if he's gone down to do that test since then.
Wait, you saying he's still alive?
As far as I know.
That's impressive in itself then.
I haven't seen him since before the pandemic, but
Well, I'd imagine he would have gotten that taken care of.
oh no, he got the stent. I mean, I've seen him since that day.
I mean, this is absolutely just impressive on every level. And I guarantee you, I am not bored at all. This is fantastic.
Well,
Ship's
thing is-
anchor.
Yeah, spare anchor.
Oh, yes.
Parts for these ships were built all over the country.
Oh, I know.
You'd have a machine shop, in Kansas making stuff, and you'd have, another
Yeah.
machine shop someplace else making stuff, and they put them together in a third spot,
Yeah.
ship them by train halfway across the country.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
So you basically got something that was built in almost every state, save for maybe Alaska, and whatever other one was. It's save for Alaska and Hawaii, unless, well, they had something made at Pearl, and that's,
And the thing is, if we were to have to do that today,
it wouldn't even be possible because all the plants are closed.
well, not only are the plants closed,
But the people who knew how to do it are gone.
yeah.
We've lost that
I mean,
experience.
I'm one of the last people who have worked in Buffalo Steel Shipyard.
Yeah, before the mill closed in like
Okay.
03. Thank you. I'll follow behind you. I've got a little bit more clearance.
The ship was built over on the other side of the harbor.
Oh yeah, I see.
Uh,
Well, I wish you guys luck in getting it into the fitting out dock. That'd be a real appropriate place for it if you're able to get it to work out.
it would be an appropriate place, but yeah, Baltimore's got a little bit of a bad reputation. And
Well, I mean,
one
it's...
of the places that gave it its reputation is not far from there.
Oh boy.
Although, in general, if you're in a manufacturing area, which this is, you're safe.
So basically, if you take up like what they don't consider a manufacturing area, you're in trouble. But if you don't, you're good.
Right, like I would not want to have it in the inner harbor area. Because the inner harbor
Yeah,
has a lot of problems. And in fact, the last time we took the ship there, the captain said he wanted us all back on board by 10 o'clock. He says, after that, he says, I'm going to bed, the ladder's not coming back down. He says, this is not the same inner harbor that we all grew up with,
Yeah, because it's just no longer that safe. I get that. And I can understand that. You wouldn't want stowaways that would cause problems.
But areas like this,
They're so industrialized they can't let people in unless, you're like me and have permission, more or less.
well, even in areas where, people can't live
Well, yeah.
because they don't know what to expect.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, like last time we had a little bit of rioting in Baltimore, it never came over here.
Yeah.
They have the riots where people are, because if you have a riot and there's no people there, who's going to know?
Right? Yeah. I want to try and get a patch on that right there.
What's that?
But-
Oh, yeah, a little rust through.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that would cause a problem. There's still like, what, 100 or so more of them.
Oh, yeah.
But I know that's something that would have to be looked at, especially where there's a depression.
Well, I don't think the dent there is the issue.
Yeah. You all right?
This is an issue.
Oh, yeah, the hole. Yeah.
But you still got a good bit holding it. And the reason this dent is here, and this dent is here,
It's where they were pressing them down.
nope,
Or it's where they hoisted the whole railing bit.
is where somebody hit us.
Oh, somebody hit you.
And it hit, and
Damn.
it's pushing this way, and made a dent in the deck.
So it's got technically a more a post-war battle scar now.
Yeah, that's actually probably from World War II.
Oh, right there?
Yeah,
Oh,
go
damn.
there and up there. Something like this.
I'm surprised you didn't go like somebody and be like, watch where you're going.
Oh yeah, there's been a couple haulers off the boat one time.
Oh, I'm sure.
One time a tugboat was towing us. Yeah, he really clobbered us. I mean, he hit the side of the boat and it all went like this, you know.
Oh, man.
Then we're all screaming at him.
It's like, bro, what the hell you doing? That's, man, my friend told me what this was. I get it's to stop wave from completely washing over the deck.
Yeah, pretty much.
A wave breaker, I think. I think that's what that's called, right? A wave breaker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be about right.
it's gonna get wet. And this is where something happens.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, one thing I bet you've done a lot of research on these things, right?
I would think so.
When you get off, you take a look at the bow of the boat.
Oh, yeah, the anchors and anchor chains.
Right down around number 29 on the
Here.
on the front of the boat to show how deep it is.
Oh, the watermark, the depth marks.
There's a little hole there about as big as a pinky. And to get to that little hole, you got to go down into that box there.
Oh, yeah.
And there is an oil tank down there
Huh.
that if you spray oil on rough water, it'll smooth it out. It'll knock down the foam and that sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah, so if you're trying, somebody's falling over and you're trying to get them out, well, they would pump a little bit of oil and spray out of there, and that would quiet the waters a little bit.
Wow.
Don't tell the Coast Guard.
Of course, you can't do that anymore now
No.
for very obvious reasons, pollution and all. So that's not done anymore. I want to clarify that in this video. That is not done anymore.
That was
That was in the 1940s, not now.
that was emptied out. Although you know maybe the new ships, you know, warships and all that stuff.
I don't know. There's an outdoor unit, so
That was one of Ben Franklin's inventions. He used to have a penny that he would spray on rough water and it would smooth it all out and amaze people. They thought it was some kind of a miracle. So, you know, the battening down the hatches,
yes, and you'd use all these to hold like the cargo hatches and all down.
these are the battens.
Oh yeah. And you'd wedge them in and then probably tie them down with ropes and chains, make sure the ocean couldn't get in, make it as watertight as
You
possible.
got these strong backs that go over the top,
Yeah.
and you've got about 3 layers of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then you've got the things that we were looking at down below, you know, the actual deck boards
Yeah.
down below.
And then you've got these. That's lead weight. I can already tell by feeling it. Solid lead. I think that's lead.
Holy crap.
I mean, that's a lead weight.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah, that's heavier than this.
yeah, so that's lead, that's steel. So these are all for, you know, oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's part of the
part of the job.
John Brown dance.
Part of the John Brown jig.
Yeah.